Hey guys, welcome. This is Don.
This is Dash.
And we're Rolling Bones. Today we're going to talk about Frostgrave, and we're going to go through a few turns to show you how to play the game. So the turn order is, first you do your initiative, which the players roll off, and the highest player takes the first turn, or takes the first activation.
Then you got your wizard phase, and your wizard can take an action, and up to 3 of your miniatures or soldiers within 3 inches of your wizard can also act with your wizard.
Then you move on to the apprentice phase, and the apprentice works exactly the same. They can have 3 of your soldiers act with them, take an activation with them if they're within 3 inches.
And then finally you've got your soldier phase. These are the phases that encompass your war band, and during the soldier phase, anybody remaining in your war band will then get to act.
And just to clarify, during the wizard phase, whoever has initiative will take their turn with their wizard, and whoever they activate with their wizard, and then the opponent or the other players will take theirs and do the same thing. Then you move on to the apprentice, and then you move on to the soldier.
Yes, so it's a chess style of play is what I've heard this called.
And then after both players have activated all of their soldiers, then it is the creature phase. And all non-controlled creatures in the game, which there are plenty of. I don't know if we'll see any in this game or not, but they take their actions, and they have rules for controlling them. During the activation, each model gets to take 2, or can normally take 2 actions. One of those needs to be a move activation. Generally, there are some exceptions to that as well. And then the second action or the other action is whatever they choose.
Yes.
The actions that can be performed are a move, which you move however many inches your move is on your model. If you want to move a second time as your second action, then you can only move half as far as the distance on your move characteristic.
Yes. Then you can fight as one of your actions. Getting into fights, you need to be in base-to-base contact, and there are different scenarios that create that kind of a situation. You'd roll on your fight stat versus your opponent.
So both players roll the d20 and add their fight stat.
Yes. Highest roll wins, and if you win the fight, then you take that number and subtract your opponent's armor value from it, and that is how much damage you do, which could be 0.
And then another action is shoot, which works similar to fight. You roll your shoot stat plus your adding whatever bonus you have from that, and they roll their fight stat to defend against that. And in this case, only the shooter can deal damage. In the fight, either person can deal damage.
Yes.
Depending on who wins.
Yeah. Then there's casting a spell. Casting a spell is fairly straightforward. Only your wizard or your apprentice can cast spells. You will have a casting value that you are, it's a target number that you are rolling for. If you succeed, then the effect of the spell can happen. Sometimes there's a resistance roll.
Sometimes there's a shoot roll involved as well.
Yes.
With some spells.
Yes, sometimes there is. I know I'm missing something.
Yeah. Well, as we play through, hopefully it will answer some of your questions on that. Another action is to pick up or drop things. The goal in this game is to collect treasure. Whoever collects the most treasure wins the game. So you want to pick up treasure, drop treasure maybe, depending on what your situation is. So we are going to start a game, and our game is just going to be the standard game. There are scenarios in the book that are fun and interesting, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to go with the standard game where you agree on your setup. There's not rules for that, and then we each place 3 treasure tokens, and there are rules as to how they can be set up in the book. And then we will play our game. My warband is the one that I created in our last video. So Casus will be my wizard and Catham will be my apprentice. And then I will have a barbarian, a thug, a thief, an archer, and a ranger.
And I just barely constructed my warband. We'll see how they do. I wanted a pirate-themed warband, so I went with a sea witch for my wizard. So I've got my witch and her apprentice. Then I've got a marksman with a crossbow. Now my marksmen are modeled with guns, and I'm using the crossbow as the rules for that gun. So I have my marksman, my apothecary, who begins the game with a potion. Hopefully that'll help. Then I have 2 crossbowmen who are actually women, so crossbow women. And my pirates are going to enter Frostgrave and try to look for booty.
Okay, well, we will get started. There are spells that are cast outside of game, so I am going to do one of those spells with my wizard. I'm going to do Animate Construct. Because it isn't my primary one, it has a difficulty. So my difficulty for that spell, Animate Construct, a +2, so it cost me 10 to cast. So I am going to try and cast it right now.
And aligned is the word we were looking for.
Aligned, yes. It's my aligned. So I rolled an 11. So I beat my spell. So I have a construct. So this is my construct that I will be using in this game. So he joins my warband and takes the place of a soldier.
I have 2 spells that I would like to cast before the game begins. And my wizard, she is a witch. I don't know how legible this is down here, but I'll explain it as I go through. So my 2 spells that I want to cast, the first one is going to be, not Curse, it's going to be Brew Potion. Has a casting value of 12. And I just rolled a 15, so I successfully cast the spell. I would like a Potion of Invisibility, who I will then give to my happy marksman here. Then, the other spell I would like to cast is Familiar. It has a casting value of 8. These are all spells. We talked about dash casting and align spell, but these are my actual college's spells, so I have no modifiers. The other spell is Familiar, has a casting value of 8. I rolled an 11, and so that is also successful. And what Familiar does is it's going to give my wizard 2 extra hit points. So I'm going to erase her health of 14 here, and I'm going to write in a split stat. The first one is her actual stat of 14. Then I'm going to put a slash and 16. So she has 2 more hit points for the game.
Okay. We have gone through the setup already for Frostgrave, but we're just going to talk about how that works right now. There are scenarios that you can roll on and choose, or choose, pick and choose. For this game, we're just going with the standard game, which is you just agree on the terrain you're setting up and things like that. Then the goal on this one is you have 6 treasure markers, and you're trying to get as many treasure markers off the board as you can. The winner is the one with the most treasure markers at the end. If one team is wiped out, then the other team gets all of the treasure markers that are left on the table. So you take turns alternating where the treasure markers will be. So we have 1 chest here, 1 chest here, and 1 chest here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 over in the corner there. And then we roll off to choose player edge and setting up. He chose that side, and he set up first, and his warband is right there. Then I set up second and was left with this table edge, and I set up my warband, part of it here and part of it here. and then we start the turn. So first we do the initiative. And I got a 20 and he got a 3. So I get to go first. So during my wizard activation, I'm going to activate my wizard and these 3 with the wizard. So I'm going to move my ranger first, who has a move of 7. And they're going to move to there. Then I will move my thief, who has a move of 7. They are going to move to here. Then I will move my wizard, who has a move of 6. And I will move to here. And then I will move my archer, who has a move of 6. And they will move up to here. Then I can choose any order to activate them now. I am going to activate my ranger, and he is going to pick up this token. Then I'm going to activate my thief for a second movement, so he can move half as far. So 7 is his normal movement, so he can move 3.5 inches. So my thief will move to there. Then I will activate my wizard. And they are going to do a second move as well. So their move is 6. So they will move 3 inches. And then my archer will take a second move as well. And that is my wizard activation.
Okay, for my wizard activation, I'm going to do a group activation. I have a marksman and an apothecary and my wizard together. I'm going to activate them together. So I have the marksman. I'd like to, or not marksman, sorry, it was a crossbowman. So I'm going to activate the crossbowman first. She's going to move 6 inches to here. Then my wizard, whose move is also 6 inches, will follow behind. And my apothecary, whose move is 6 inches, will move to here. That is their movement. Then I'm going to see if I have any spells I really want to cast. And I would like to cast Curse on somebody if I can. So I'm going to check to see what the requirements for Curse are. Curse needs line of sight, and the target must pass a will roll if the casting is successful. If the will roll is unsuccessful, the target will have -1 to its fight, shoot, and will stats for the rest of the game. So I'm going to see if I have line of sight from my wizard to anybody. And in fact, I can see
The barbarian
model here.
That's
yes,
my
the barbarian. So I'm going to try to curse the barbarian to cast the spell. This is one of my own college's spells. I need a 10. I got a 16. So she is now cursed, that barbarian. She has -1 to fight, shoot, and will. Well, actually, she
resist with will.
Yep, she needs to resist with her will.
So my barbarian has will +3. So I need to beat a 16.
16 or higher, I think.
No.
Ooh, ouch. Now she's at -1 to shoot, fight, and will stats for the rest of the game. With my crossbowman, I'm going to
Shoot at the barbarian.
it's crossing my mind to shoot at the barbarian. I don't know if I have line of or range. 24 inches.
You do.
Do I?
Yep.
Okay, then I would like to shoot at her.
There is an obstacle. Like there is a small
Small things in the
things
way.
in the way. So, on your shooting light intervening terrain, I get a +1 to my fight save.
Okay. So I will roll, and we roll simultaneously, don't we? This is my first game, by the way. So my shoot is +2.
And
I got a 4.
yeah, my fight is +3 because I'm cursed, and I get another +1 because of the intervening terrain. So I got a 6.
Okay, so this shot misses. All right, then for the apothecary, we are going to do a second move. So he'll get to move another 3 inches. And you can move through your
I
own.
also get a +1 because you moved. Hasty shot. Shooter previously moved during the activation.
I'm just going to move my apothecary to the other side of my wizard.
Okay.
That's my wizard phase.
Then I am going to take my apprentice phase and move first my barbarian. It's going to move there 6 inches. So she will move up to here. Then my thug will move his 6 inches. He will move up to here. Then my construct will move his 6 inches and move up to here. And then my wizard apprentice will move their 6 inches and move up to here. My barbarian will pick up this for their second action. Then my thug will take another move and move at half speed and move up here. My construct will make another half move and move up here. And my wizard is going to...
Or your apprentice.
My apprentice is going to cast Elemental Ball on your... whoever this is right here.
That's my apothecary.
Okay. So, Elemental Ball is... the spellcaster chooses an enemy within 24 inches and line of sight and hurls a ball of destructive elemental energy at the target and every figure, including friendly ones, within 1.5 inches and line of sight of the target. And line of sight. The target immediately suffers a +5 shooting attack. Roll each attack separately. This spell may not target an enemy figure that is even partially obscured by another figure. My cost to cast that is 12, but since it's my apprentice, it becomes 14. And I rolled a 5, which we didn't talk about this. There's actually negatives to missing
Just
failures on spells. So, amount by failed, I needed a 16, so I missed it by 11. So I would take 2 damage, and that is my turn.
All right, my apprentice phase. My apprentice will make a move. She has a move of 6 inches. move her to here. My marksman has a move of 5 inches, so he's not going to keep up so much. And my other crossbow woman will move to here. Maybe.
You're going to destroy all my peoples.
I'm actually going to move her. No. It's about as good as it's going to get for her. Okay. Moving on to the next step of my apprentice phase. I would like to cast Enchant Weapon on my marksman with my apprentice. So my normal, if my wizard were to cast Enchant Weapon, it would be a 10, but because this is my apprentice, I'm at -2, I'm going to need a 12. I rolled a 20, so that is successful. And I'm going to make a note on my marksman that he is enchanted, or has an enchanted weapon. It will be his crossbow that I enchant. So let's put a star by his crossbow so I know. Next, I'm going to see if I have line of sight with my marksman on anybody. And the person I can see the most, that bowman there. There is terrain in the way.
How many? It's +1 for every piece of intervening terrain.
That is the only piece of terrain that's actually causing line of sight disruption. So, make sure I got 24 inches, which I do. Then, all right, so I moved. That's a -1.
Well, no, it's plus.
+1
most
to you.
of these go to the target. The target.
Okay. All right, so my marksman has a +3 to shoot.
One I need to roll.
I rolled a 16.
So a 13 plus your 3.
Yes.
And then I rolled a 17 plus my fight with my archer is +2, so 19, and then the bonus for hasty shot and intervening terrain, so 21.
So I missed. And I now have 2 people that need to reload. Okay, next. I'm going to see if my other crossbow woman has line of sight to anybody. And no, not really. So I'm just going to do a second move with her. She can move up to 3 inches. But I want to be careful and not be out of 3 inches to my apprentice. So that is the end of my activation, and I've actually activated my whole warband at this point.
As well as have I. So then if there were any other creatures, they would have a turn to do now, and we would... There's special rules for them moving and things like that, but we will not get into that right now. We are going to begin turn 2. So, we will roll for initiative. And Jesse rolled a 14, and I rolled a 9. So
All right.
Jesse has initiative. This is going to hurt.
Wizard phase. Here we go. I'm going to move my apothecary. So my apothecary is going to move. Can you move through your own guys, or do you have to go around?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm going to move my apothecary 6 inches this direction. Then I'm going to elect not to move with my wizard. Actually, no, I will. I'm going to move her up here, well within her 6 inches. Then my crossbow woman, she's going to reload. Moving on to my action that I can take beyond movement, I am going to attempt again to curse the barbarian. Alright, curse again has a casting value of 10 for my wizard. I rolled a 3, which is a failure of 7.
And I made mine.
Yeah, made your will. So if I fail by 7, how much damage does that do?
So a failure by 7 is 1 damage.
Continuing on, I am going to take a shot with my crossbow woman. She has a shoot of +2, and she's going to shoot at him. There shouldn't be any terrain in the way.
No.
And you're within 24 inches.
And that's my thug.
Oh, I just rolled a 1 on the die, so I only got a 3.
And I definitely made it. I rolled a 19, and my fight is +2, and I got a +1 for hasty shot. So 22.
So for my final action I'm going to take with this group activation, my apothecary is going to move a second move, which means he can move up to 3 inches. And he will do such moving into base contact with the treasure chest.
So I am still within 3 inches of my thief. So my thief, I'm going to activate these 3 with my wizard. My thief is going to move into contact with this. My bowman, or bowwoman, is going to move up to here. And my wizard is going to move up behind. And although it's a mistake, because my archer is one of my best characters, one of my strongest characters, they're going to move off the table, which taking a treasure is one of the few times you can actually move off the table. You can't be forced off the table in the game by effects that move you back and things. But he's going to move off the table, so I have 1 treasure token for this game so far. Then, for my second activation, or for my second action in these activations, my thief is going to pick up this chest, and my archer is going to fire at this person here.
It's my apprentice.
At your apprentice. They're within 24, but there is intervening terrain, so they will get a +1 and a +2 because I moved before. So my archer's shoot is +2, and I rolled a 1. So I basically cannot hit him at all.
So I get +2 to my roll, and this is on my fight stat for my apprentice. Her fight is 0, so I add 2 to my roll overall.
Yeah.
I got an 11 on the die, so 13 total.
Yep. So then my wizard is going to cast a elemental bolt at your apprentice, which has a spell cost of 12. It is my own college, or my own school, so I roll at 12. So I'm rolling a 12, and what this does is I make an immediate +8 shooting attack against the figure in line of sight. So,
oh, ouch.
Not good. I rolled a 1. So I needed a 12. So that puts me at 11 below, which will give me 2 damage. So my wizard's health is 12. So that is the basics of how this game runs. We're going to play through the rest of our game, but this video is already going to be pretty long. So in the future, we will probably play through a whole game when we start our campaign and go through that will be a long video, and then we'll go through the after campaign stuff and how campaigns play through. But hopefully this worked and that it was informative and helped you understand how this game works. Again, you can download the rules on osprey.co.uk. So hopefully you enjoyed this and that it helps you get into this game. It's a fun game. I mean, Jesse's first game, my second game, and we will finish this game, and maybe next time we'll let you know how it went. I have a feeling Jesse's going to win this game, but I always feel that way, and sometimes it turns around.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.